The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi there. Welcome to our Scientific Forex Live webinar. My name is Christina. For today's webinar, I'm going to talk about other indicators that I use in the system, and I will be showing some trade examples too. Before I begin, please let me know if you can hear me. Please type yes into the chat box on the webinar control panel at the right corner of your screen. Hello, good morning everyone. Okay. Also, if you have some questions, just type them into the chat box and we'll have specific section to answer them. There are a lot of questions that come during the webinars, and I might miss your question due to the lack of time, or if I lose your question in the flood of questions that come up. But I really like to help, so if I miss your question, please send us an email. But it's best if you post in the forum. I'll be happy to answer them, and other members could learn from it as well. This session is recorded and will be posted in the members area for you to watch or download. The previous webinars are already available in the members area. Just click on the webinars tab. Remember, our team is available if you need any assistance, so just let us know and we'll do our best to assist you. In the last webinar, we talked about Fibonacci retracement tool. So for today's webinar, I will talk about the following indicators. RSI, or Relative Strength Index, OSMA, Oscillator of Moving Average, MACD, Moving Average Convergence Divergence, and Parabolic SAR that help us for stop loss, and also about Bollinger Bands. The Relative Strength Index was invented by Wallace Wilder. It is a momentum oscillator, and it measures the speed and change of price movement by comparing a security's gains to its losses and plotting that on a 0 to 100 scale. We can plot it from Navigator, and in the left side we can find Relative Strength Index. We just drop and drag to the window with candles, and we have the RSI. As you can see, I put some levels, 30, 50 and 70, that show us a good indication about what is happening with the price. If the price is under 30 level, that means that is oversold. If it is over 70, usually it means that the price is overbought. So if we are going with the cross, we can see that in the low of RSI, we have a low of the price. When we have a high into the RSI, we have also a high into the price levels. This is happening with most oscillator of the price. We can see also that are according with oscillator of RSI. In my system, I am using the cross of RSI 5 and RSI 14. So if I will put also RSI 14 here, I will make into blue color, and we have the crosses of the price. You can see that here we have one cross of RSI. So when RSI 4 is coming from and cross with RSI 14 and go above the RSI 14, we have one signal for buy. I will mark it here. We can see that here is the cross and here is one reverse of the price. So if at this intersection we are going into one buy order, we will have some profit until the price is changing. For this 4-hour chart, at least until the price is touching 70 levels of RSI, we can see that here on this area we could stay into one buy order. So we have here the cross. We are preparing to go into one buy, and we can see that here at the same level in the same area we have the proper moment to go into one buy. We will keep this order until the RSI is changing the direction. So somewhere in this area, and we can see that the price is starting the reverse. The signal for sell is in this area. Maybe sometimes it's not a good idea to wait until we have the signal for sell. If we are going into a buy, it's not good to stay until we have the signal for sell. But maybe for the beginners in Forex, it's okay if they are waiting the signal to go out from the buy order. So they will lose some profit, but they will go out somewhere into around this candle or so, into that level. Even in this situation, we have about 80 pips in this case. But of course, we can have better solution and better movement for one buy or for one sell if the volatility is bigger. I will look for one other signal. Here is one other signal for, that was one signal for sell. We have here one other signal for buy. We can see again that here in this area we can go into one buy, and probably we will have in this area one other 121 pips. So here is the signal from the cross of RSI. In this area we have the entrance, probably to the next candle, and until this area we can stay into the buy. This means that we have buy position or one long position until we can see that the RSI 5 is going back to the 50 level or so. We have here one other signal. Here, and we have the same situation. So here we are going into one buy. Here, and we will stay maybe until this area where RSI is going under the 70 level. So somewhere into one of those candles we will close the order. Okay, any question? Michael, Christina, is there a way to get an alert for cross of 2 RSI? I have been looking for it on the web, but I didn't find any. Actually, I'm not using alerts. I know that there can be made some expert advisors that are making alerts, but I just don't use those. Do you wait until candle is closed? Actually, because I'm using different time frames, I have those signals earlier. In a smaller time frame, you can have those signals for buys earlier. Just I will show you on this chart. We have into 1 hour chart one signal here. I will change the color to be easier for you to make the difference. So between those two signals for buy that we have into 4 hour chart, we have several signals into 1 hour chart. You can see that here we have here in this point we have one other signal for buy. Here could be one but was not confirmed. Here we have one other signal that is clear. Here again is one other signal for buy. And of course, around the signal that we have into 4 hour chart, we have one signal here and the second is around this area. So if you put me the question about 4 hour chart, if I'm waiting for candle, no, I'm not waiting for the candle to be completed. I am more secure when the signal is complete. So this means that the candle have to be complete, and it starts the next candle on 4 hour, but also I am looking for all those signals on smaller time frame. When I stay into those signals on smaller time frame, some of the signals can be okay, some of them can be the winnings one, like this one. This one we can see that we have a nice setup for a long position. But one signal like this one is a signal that is lasting just 1 hour or so. But still we have 50 pips. Can be something interesting if you want to, if you are one trader more active or so. Duan, which time works best? As if you read, if you saw our report, we show that the best time frame is the time frame that is for 4 hours. But into 4 hours, one trend means more than one day in the most of the cases. So can be something difficult for a new trader to stay with one open position for more than few hours. So if you have let's say 3 or 4 days, it's difficult in the beginning to stay into one trade. For some person, it's depending on character. Gary, so why was one signal not confirmed? It's possible to have different situation. In the last period, we have a lot of influence from political action into the markets. They change the rules. They make some intervention in the financial market. They changed the interest into the central banks. All those things are changing the normal course of the economic life. So when investors are reading one of those type of statements, or they see some of those type of intervention, they are taking some measures to protect their money. They want to protect the equity. So this is why we don't have one. This is why there are signals that can be not confirmed also. If 5 touch the 14 goes up or down, is that signal to buy or sell? So we talk here just for the buy example. For when RSI 5 is coming from under the 14 RSI and is passing above the 14 RSI, is a signal for buy, like this situation. For the sell, we have RSI 5 coming from above the RSI 14, like this one. So let me here to put one different color. This will be in this area. This will be one signal for sell. We have one other here. another one in this area. You can see the cross. This is signal for cell. Signal for cell, signal for cell. RSI 5 is coming from upside and going under the RSI 14. This is here we have the signal. Let's see in this area how many signals we have for 1 hour. I will change again the color because I want you to see better that we have more signal into one smaller time frame than into a bigger time frame. So here is one signal. RSI 5 is in the upside of RSI 14 is going down, so we have signal for cell. Here we have one signal for cell that is coming earlier than the signal for our chart. So first we have the signal on smaller time frame, and after that we have the confirmation on bigger time frame. Here is the one cross, but was a signal for buy that was not confirmed in this area. So that was about 3 hours when we could have one long position, but the signal into 1 hour was not confirmed. More than that, we have the signal for sell. And we can see that the pair was going into one downtrend. If the RSI to cross downwards for short signal, should this be above the 50 line? Julian, actually, if the cross is over 50 level, is into that area between 50 and 70, or is one strong signal. When it is into between 50 and 30, as it is this one, here, the signal is not so strong, so we are not so sure that we will have for a long period this sell position. Still, in this case, it was a big one, but also we have one other sell here, one other sell signal here, and one other sell signal in this area. So you can see on 4 hour we have just 2 signals for sell. Into 1 hour we have till now about 4, and we have some more other signals later. Is one signal here, is one signal here. We have one other here. So actually jumping from one time frame to another is just to catch more signals. And if you are staying just into one position for short in this area and wait until this level or somewhere in this, area, you have about 231 pips. If you are looking into 1 hour for, or even more into 30 minutes, we have more variation and we can have a bigger number of pips when we are going into smaller time frame. Those apps and those things of the pair we can be useful to have not only 230 pips but more. Chris, hi Christina, there are many signals. Since we cannot take all signals, how to choose the best signal? Actually, this is why I'm using the other indicators. They can help us to see what are the best signals when one signal is stronger or than one other. One other indicator that I'm using, so this is the main indicator. One other indicator that I'm using is oscillator of moving average. This is actually I'm using this indicator because it's giving me the signal that I have to be prepared to go into one trade. This one. So the oscillator of moving average is quite similar to the MACD. Is it is indicating one relationship between two moving averages, and by default it is the difference of the 26 exponential moving average and 12 exponential moving average with smoothing of 9 simple moving averages. Let's see what is the relation between the price and the oscillator of moving average. So I will go again into this chart, and what we can see when oscillator of moving average is under the zero level, under the water, when the pair start to go into one uptrend, the candles are smaller and smaller. So here the candles will be smaller and smaller in this area, and we have the same thing into the price chart. The candles are forming one uptrend. For smaller waves, we have smaller candles on oscillator. The difference are not so big between the prices, between the low and highs. So those candles are going to be smaller than those ones that we have in this downtrend. Actually, as we can see here, the oscillator of moving average made one low, the candles start to be smaller and smaller. The pair start sort of consolidation, but is prepared to go into one uptrend. Actually, this is what the oscillator of moving average is indicating to me, that I have to be prepared because soon I will have one signal for buy or one signal for sell. So here, when the oscillator of moving average is under the zero level and start the candles to be smaller and smaller, we have the signal for buy. And in one situation like this one, when the candles are making one high and start to be smaller and smaller, we'll have to be prepared. We have to be prepared for one sell order, one sell signal. This is what appears here. In RSI. So the candles start earlier to go smaller, and very soon appear the cross of RSI that is confirming us that we have one downtrend for a period that is considerable for that time frame. Maybe. Hi Chris. There are 3 trading sessions, Asian, European and US session. Which one the best time to enter the market trade to get best results? The best session is European session, and actually this is because in London there are about 13% of the movements in financial market. Most of the company have offices in London, so this is the reason why European session is the biggest one. In the last period, I also saw that are a lot of companies that are going to Hong Kong or Singapore. It's quite possible in the future to have more activity in Asian session. But now, European session is the most active than US session. Okay, I will go to show you also what is happening with MACD, and I will make this channel with RSI smaller, and I will plot also the MACD to see the difference between the oscillator of moving average and MACD. MACD and the oscillator of moving average are two indicators that are a lot alike. Both of them have the histogram. Both of them are related to some moving averages, and but we can see that there are some difference between those two. When we have a law into oscillator of moving average, we don't have the confirmation also into MACD. Probably most of you know that the signals for sell and buy given by MACD are related to that line, that is the difference of the averages, 12 and 26 period, and the signal is like this. When the red line is going out from the histogram is signal for sell, when histogram is making one high and the candles start to become smaller, And here, when the histogram is under the water and candles start to be smaller and the red line is going out from the histogram, we have one signal for buy. So here is one signal for sell, and here is one signal for buy. I will show you what are the relation between RSI, the cross of RSI and the cross of MACD. For this I will delete that indicator. I will make bigger this window, and for the moment I will let on this window just RSI. So here we have one signal for buy, as you remember, on 4-hour chart. Here is the signal of RSI, and here is the signal from MACD. We can see that the signal on MACD for a buy comes a little bit later. I will try to put the same color. Because I want to make the association between the signal on 4-hour and the signal for buy and the signal to buy from MACD. So here into MACD is a very clear signal for one buy. We have also this signal for from cross of RSI, and those one are the signals from 1 hour. But in this moment we are not interested of those blue signals. Here again we have the red line was into the area where is plotted the histogram, and the signal for buy was a little bit later. Maybe 1 or 2 candles. So the signal from MACD is coming later in this area. This one will be, here will be the signal from MACD. So we can lose a lot of pips from this area when we have the signal from RSI, and this area when we have the signal from MACD we have about 60 pips. We will go into the trade when we have the signals from RSI, and if we have also the signal from MACD, it means that we have a strong signal, a better one, one signal that is bringing us more pips. Stuart. Hi Christina, how can you align when a price is overbought or oversold with RSI, oscillator, moving average and MACD? Should this give the best entry point? Also, what is the signal to close the trade? So, as I told you, the oscillator of moving average is just telling me that I have to be prepared to go into one trade. The signal for the trade is the cross of RSI. If the cross of RSI, the signal for one buy, like we have here, is followed by the confirmation on the MACD, it means that we have a strong signal. Here the MACD didn't cross over zero level, and we can see that the price didn't go further, but the RSI went close to 50 level before the MACD was into one low direction. Here, in this situation, we have that signal for buy. Yes, we have also the signal from MACD. We have a confirmation. What we can see here, the MACD went over zero level in this area, and also here the histogram start to make bigger and bigger candles. So if we had one signal for buy from the crossover RSI, it was confirmed by MACD. In this area, probably we consider that we maybe can close that buy. So first signal that we can close that buy order was here, and we have in this area the signal for sell coming from RSI and also from MACD. MACD didn't give us the proper signal for one sell. Just we have the candle smaller and smaller into the histogram. But we can see that very soon we have one idea that if candles are bigger and bigger, we will be into one uptrend. So we could consider that is a stronger signal when MACD is going over zero with bigger candles. So we can just simply go into the trend in this area, and here just wait. In this area where we have again the signal for buy, we just wait. When the histogram is going over zero, is one signal for buy. So instead of taking one buy, one sell, and one buy, so instead to take 3 orders, we just simply could stay into that buy order until this high. I think that around this area, that is equivalent with that area. Yes, we have to put together the what we know about trend lines, Fibo level, and Elliott wave theory, because signal to exit the trade can also be dictated by trend line support and resistance. Right. On a visual basis, if the MACD candle is far from the zero line, it will usually pull back. So if this red line is crossing the zero line and the candles will be formed over the zero, is signal for buy. In the theory, this is the signal of buy when the red line is going outside from the histogram, but also there are traders that are considering that cross of zero line one signal for buy. They are going into one position into this level, into this signal, if they are trading with MACD, and they are opening the second position around this area. Here is one buy and here is the second buy that they are opening, and this level will be the signal for exit. So yeah, do you take horizontal support or resistance into account? I'm taking the FIBO levels into account, and those are very important levels. But also from time to time, also I pay attention to psychological levels. Those one that let's say 1.3 for euro, level 1 for Aussie dollar, 100. Those are or 1.1 for Aussie dollar. Those are psychological levels, and for the people from that country means a lot of thing when the value is crossing a certain level. Not necessarily because that level is related with something like FIBO, like economy, like monetary base or so. Just because just that level is one psychological one. On the second buy signal, do add more contracts? No, I'm not adding more contracts. I just told you how other traders take in consideration the signals from MACD. I usually have more contracts if I'm working just on daily basis. If I'm going into 4-hour chart, I'm going with one contract. I have the signal, I'm going to the contract, and I'm using the trailing stop loss or so, according with the variation of the pair. Because I talk about the stop loss, let's see also how is working SAR and how I'm using it. Okay, I will make those windows smaller. I'm using the SAR just to move the stop loss. So let's take one signal for one we have here one signal for one buy. Yes, we have the crossover SI. So here we have the signal for going into one buy. Here I have also the confirmation for the MACD. I can see that in the history, the pair, when it's going into one uptrend and one downtrend, use a lot of time. We have 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, we have more than 20 candles here. So it means that we have a few days. Also, into this downtrend, we have more than 15 candles, I think. So it means that we have to stay into one of those trends more than one day. So if I have here the signal and I'm going maybe around in this area into one buy, I will suppose that I will stay into this trade for a longer period. So we have here about 8 candles. So minimum 24 hours or so we will stay into this trade. Actually, because we have also this signal from MACD, I suppose that it's possible to stay for 3 or maybe 1 week into this trade. After my position is going into positive area, I will change the stop loss. In the beginning, my stop loss will be a little bit under those candles, under that low that is made by the pair. And if my position is going into the positive area, I will try to protect it. And those levels will be according to SAR. When SAR is going with 1 point upper, I will change also my stop loss like this. It's going 1 more into the upside, I will change it again. So after each 4 hour, I can change the stop loss, and actually I have in this moment I have protected those wins that are coming from those moves. So in the worst situation, I have about 62 pips. Here we can see that RSI is going from the 70 area up to 50 level. So maybe somewhere in this area I will close the order. But I'm looking also to the MACD, and I can see that in the MACD is going close to zero level, and this means for a lot of traders that they will open a next position for buy. So here I will not move my stop loss and I will stay more into the trade, or after some period, after you are mastering the system, you can open the second trade, considering also that we have here one other signal for buy, and also here another one. Of course, those are very some things that are coming into the system as details, and I'm sure that a lot of person will can do this system, the trades with this system in this way. Do you use different trailing stop for different pairs? Yes, actually for euro dollar because it's one pair that is so active, I will use bigger stop loss. For, let's say, for yen, I'm using smaller stop loss because they have from time to time big moves, but when they are but between those big moves that are made because the central bank of Japan is making intervention, they don't have big variation. Um, well, actually, I want to show you how the system works. I thought from the beginning that it's one manual system. Expert advisors are helping us a lot, and some of them are very good. Um, but in trading, we have a lot of human intervention, and the expert advisor cannot make the difference about the things that are coming from news or from releases and so on. Actually, if you are using one expert advisor, it's very important to have a very good management, money management, because if you can defend yourself when you are using one manual system, when you are using one expert advisor, the money management is making the defense for you. So you have to consider a little bit different the things. Um, how we set one trailing stop? If we have one order into the market, um, it is in the ticket one. Well, I don't want to go blind into the market. So here, for a short period, we have one signal for buy. Um, Actually, I will prepare one page with different the steps for posting one stop on trailing stop, and I will post in the members area. When you have one position into the market, you can just click right on that word, and you can fix the trailing stop. No, I'm not using a headset. I'm using one microphone, and I have two monitors. This is why my voice have different volumes when I'm speaking. Paul, do you think that the indicators are more important or more reliable than trend line? I think that the trend line and wave theory and Fibo level is giving you a very good idea the targets of the market. The signals is helping us to find the best position for entry and exits. I just use them together, all of them, and making the analysis of the market. I'm looking to the Fibo levels. I'm looking where the market is intended to go, and I'm looking from the best signals that they are coming from RSI. Yes, and something like this are the signals. Here is a signal for buy. Here I have the confirmation. It's a very small chart. It's probably that the signal will not be for a long period. 15 minutes chart means 30 pips, something like this, 30. We have here the RSI 5 that is going back to 30 level, have already signal for one sell and very close one signal for buy. That means 12 candles means about 3 hours. But also we have that sell signal here. And very quickly one buy signal. It's possible not to catch all those signals. This is happening with smaller time frame. A lot of signals and for small targets, and probably in this area we have one other cell. Also, if you are looking from this area up about 30 pips, maybe, but I'm not sure that somebody will take this trade that have 65 pips, because here we have signal for buy. So maybe this cell will be something between this level up to this level, when we have also the signal from MACD for a buy. We have the change of SAR for a buy, and probably most of traders that are on 50 minutes will be out from this trade. So up to here we have about 48 pips. Julian, do you look at correlated pairs for clues? Sometimes I have, when I have, so all the time I have euro dollar on the chart, on the screen. Also, when I'm looking for pound to dollar or so on, I have also the euro dollar, or I have SP 500, because both of them you have can give you some indication about the fact that is something happening into the market. Are very sensitive. Those charts, euro dollar and SPF 500, are very sensitive to any news. Paul, do you have any research on how different parameter settings for RSI and MACD change signal for different time frames, M14, M30, 1 hour, 4 hour? Actually, I have some research regarding the cross of different RSI. So here, if you are not happy with those signals, you can put some more RSI. Let's put here 25. Put a green. You can play with those indicators if you are not happy with them. So you can make one rainbow or something like this. Actually, what I did, I made some, I was using one builder that put together those RSI and those indicators, and I made some backtested, and the best signal was from RSI 5 and RSI 14, and after that I was the cross of RSI 3 and RSI 14. But you can play changing the values of indicators just help you to see how they are reacting. RSI 5 and RSI 14 works best for 4 hours, 1 hour and 30 minutes. You're welcome, Paul. As you remember, somebody is asking me what I can see for euro dollar. If you remember, we have that big channel on daily basis. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this waves. I'm waiting for the 5th wave. Is a period with when we can say too many things. If we are going, it's possible on daily basis the pair to go to test again this superior trend line. It means that we were gonna have one, maybe 1.33, maybe one of those levels. If we are going into smaller time frames, we can see that here is one signal for sell. If we have also the confirmation from the MACD, it's possible that we can see in short time one cross of the median line from Bollinger Band and one downtrend maybe to the previous level, 0 or, but this means for very, very short time. For Stuart, for dollar yen, we have one different situation because actually the economy I saw one study from the Minister of Finance of Japan that and that study said that yen is better working at the value of 82.50 is the best balance for export and the social cost of Japan. Actually, when the level of yen was around 75 or so, was a very bad situation for exporters and also for the social insurance that they have into the economy. Probably you know that the biggest expectancy for life is in Japan. They have so this fact is affecting the retirement cost of the state, and they should go to make intervention to have a weak currency. So it is possible to have some different things in yen, but even so, we can see that the US GPI is respecting those settings from the system. They are making the intervention when we have set a technical set into the charts. I will go in one other webinar to talk about yen, because is one currency that have a different way of acting. Can you please show us the questions as well? It will help us to understand the answer. I can read the question. I'm not sure that I can post all the agendas. Yeah, I will ask. The technical, because I'm not so good on technical stuff. Danny, do you use trend line? Yes, I told you that I'm making the analysis. I'm going through the question that was posted before because there are so many and maybe I missed some of them. Jeff, when you would not buy on Signal? Actually, I'm going, if I am in the mood of trade, I'm going to all the signals that are okay. If there are on smaller time frames, like 5 minutes, here on 4-hour here on 4-hour chart, sorry, I'm going to all the signals. I can take them all. But into 5 minutes chart is quite impossible to have all those signals. At least for me. I don't know. I think that there are even for 15 minutes it's difficult for me to take all the signals, because you have all the time to go from one signal for sell to one signal for buy and so on. And I really can do this. But I think, and this is why I'm telling you that the person that are mastering the system will gonna have better results than me. There are persons that pay more attention to all those things, are more attentive to the details. They will can take all those signals. They will gonna have a very nice performance with this system after they are understanding it. I know that I'm not I'm not enough attentive with all those details. Here, let's say, I will be, is one 15 minutes chart. I will be into one trade maybe here, because I also have the signals from MACD, and the market will be ranking. I will be sick after this period, and I will not go into one buy here, even if it is a clear signal. Sometimes it's happening like this. And it's very possible for me not to have this this signal, but I think that a lot of person that was following the fact that is the market is into one uptrend will take that signal as well. What, in your opinion, which 5 currency are the best to trade in? The best currency to trade is the currency of the countries that you know. What I mean regarding this, maybe you are following the news. You know, it's better to know something about the economy of the country of which currency you are trading. I'm trading the euro dollar because most of the person are trading euro dollar, and we have big volumes on this pair. And also I'm living in Europe. I know a lot of things regarding what politicians talk in Europe, what are their intention, what are the changes of law, and so on. I'm trading also with yen because Japan is one country that I like a lot. They are very they are looking to the details. They are very careful with their economic life. They are very they are taking care of everything around them. This is what I like about Japan. I don't know. And I'm following also the news, the laws. I'm following the Central Bank of Japan, and this is helping me to have one idea about the economy of Japan. So I'm trading yen because I know some more other things about that currency. It was one period when I was very curious about the relation between Australia and China, and I was trading the Aussie because I was looking of the exports of Australia for China. It's not, but for all those currency, the system is working. If one signals fail, it fail, it fails because of the political changes. This is why I'm just trading on a few pairs. I can follow all the events from other countries. When a pair is in a horizontal range, would you use pending orders when it breaks out? No, because there are a lot of false breakouts. Actually, I'm trading the ranking market just if that ranking is for time frames like daily, when we have a few days for the currency to swing between two levels. Ranking market for 15 minutes or 5 minutes makes me crazy. Simple like this. is something very, very difficult to see one for is something very difficult to trade one market like this, like we have in the last days on euro. But what we know that those ranking market means one period of consolidation, and the market will continue the trend. This is all that I don't have one. I'm not using pending orders or so. Do you trade all crossovers of RSI on 4-hour charts? If I don't have one other project to take care, that means if I don't have one other project that takes me maybe few months, yes, I'm trading most of them. Maybe I'm losing one or two per month, but otherwise I'm taking all of those signals from 4-hour are the strongest signals. Um, so Paul is asking me, so fundamental analysis is equally important as technical. Yes, both are important, but not in the same way. For fundamental analysis, you can consider just for bigger time frame. You are considering fundamentals when you are trading daily, weekly, bigger than 4-hour time frames. Technical picture is good for smaller time frames. 4-hour daily is working very well, 4-hour and smaller time frames. But if you want to see, if you don't understand why from time to time one signal fails, you can go to fundamental things you have to go to releases, you have to go to the law that was approved in one country, the new regulation and so on, and you can find one good explanation. But for those things that appear, you can simply use the money management. So also you can have a good defense through money management. Also consider one technical tool. Okay. Thank you all that you were close to me and you pay attention to that webinar. Please let me know if you will have more questions, and I will be happy to answer to them. Maybe you can post them in the members area and so on. Okay, so thank you for your time. Okay, thank you and see you in the next webinar.